Hello, Tom Zerinskis here. I'm the creator of TrueSpell Phonetics and also Spelsay. And the point of Spelsay is to use phonetics to spell a word rather than spelling out the letters. But you need standard different pronunciation of these letters to determine what they are, and you need to say double letters and silent letters. It's a unique thing. Here is a list of 20 that we'll go over that I happen to have in a contact list. Here is Laura, and Laura is spelled such that according to Spelsay rules, AU is AW and an ending A is always This one can be Urin or Erin or Erin. The I is always short in that kind of situation, but the E could be different sounds. And as long as it points to how to spell it, you can say it different ways. Here is Sveva. Now, I've never seen this name before. It could be Sviva in the natural state, but either way, we'll spell it correctly. This word Lila, I say Lila because the E has to be pronounced at the end, the silent E, and a Y inside like that is spelled as the I sound. But at the end of a word like this one, it's always an E sound, and if you hear an E at the end of the word, it's a letter Y. Spelsay. Now that word can be spelled many ways. It looks like it's Casey in regular pronunciation, but it can be spelled different ways. It could even be spelled with a K or without the E. So I'd say K-sa-E to show that the E is there and also that the C is a hard C, K-sa-E. And if you hear the K sound, it's always a C. Now here's Nancy, or Nancy, or Nancy. And the C we're going to have to say differently than an S. So we're going to fricate the S and say Nancy to show it's not an S, and the ending Y is fine. Another problem with the K sound, this is usually pronounced Kim, but since it's a letter K and the K sound is covered by the letter C, which is 50% more prevalent in regular spelling, then we're going to have a new sound for K, and that is Kim. It's a fricated K. Kim. Joseph. Unfortunately, the PH has to be pronounced. The O is the simplest vowel. It's always O. And the J is always J. And the S is always S. Joseph. It could actually be Joseph. It's a problem with the PH, I know. And this one is Yezamira in Spelsay, and I don't know the true pronunciation. It could be Yisamira. The A is A, not but at the end it's always not A. Julie or Jolie, but I suppose it's Julie, probably usually pronounced Julie. Jennifer. What I do for the double consonant is I stall ahead of it and pronounce it together. I like to stall at the end of every vowel because a vowel is a syllable. Every vowel is a syllable. So Jennifer. The R, the E before the R is usually In this case here, it could be Erin or Erin. And I got a ding dong, wouldn't you know? 4 o'clock alarm. Irene, that's my mother's name. It should, now if you got an I at the head of a word and it's capital I is always I for the word I. Irene or Irene is how you spell say it, because you have to say the silent letter. Leinen, Leinen. Helline, Helline. Heather, Heather. Yep, you have to say the E and the A, because a lot of times you have an E and an E for the E sound. This would be an S sound, actually. The A would be diminished, Heather. But if you have, how about the word heat, H-E-A-T? That would be heat. And teach, T-E-A-C-H, would be T-H. This one it defaults to an E S sound for the EA combo. A-I-Y-A. I don't know how that word is said. I believe it's Aya, where the A and the I are pronounced Aya. But to know how to spell it, you have to say A-I-Y. Douglas, Douglas. The O-U is always ow. Thomas, that's my name. Thomas, unfortunately. It's normally pronounced Thomas, but you have to pronounce the TH as, it can be pronounced 2 different ways actually, and it's spelled one way but pronounced 2 ways, voiced and unvoiced. Thomas, Thomas, and Thomas, 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 and Thomas. And here's a corker. I do not know the pronunciation of this name. Da ne le ne. Da ne le ne. It could be line. Da ne le line. Possibly pronounced Danaline. But the double N, you have to say da ne le or line to try to get the spelling right. You have to know there's 2 N's in there. Roya, and Spelsay would be Roya. Roya. Looks like it's Roy with a and I don't know how it actually is normally pronounced. These are a lot of new names in my list. So that's going over how you can say these words and you would know how to spell them, and you have to say some letters differently. Nancy, to know it's not an S, and Kim, to know it's not a hard C. Casey, that's not a K. Casey, if it was a K, it would be Casey. All right, thank you very much. That's group 1 of Spelsay, to try to say words phonetically that definitely show how to spell them. And it can be handy when you're transferring names. Heather is not just an H-E-T-H-E-R. Heather has got the A in there.